Why am I getting the same ads over and over again? Am I being tracked? Earlier this morning, wow, this new model looks good. Cookies. Whatever, I'll just accept it. And as you have guessed, the reason why I kept getting automotive ads is because of cookies, not the ones that you eat, but internet cookies. And today I'm gonna explain how cookies work and link it back to my car ad example. So what are cookies? Let me explain with an example. Imagine you have a website that you need to log into to look at some content, for example Facebook. So when you log in, your browser sends your username and password to the server, which verifies them and sends you the content. However, since the HTTP protocol is stateless, which means that each request is in isolation, the second time you made such a request, the server no longer recognizes you and you have to log in again. Can you imagine how tiring it is for you to log in for every single click you make on Facebook? That's like talking to a goldfish that blinks and forgets about you. And that's when the cookie comes in. So whenever you log into Facebook, and Facebook gives you the content, Facebook also places a cookie on your computer. The cookie contains a unique ID for the server to recognize you and keeps you logged in. So whenever you revisit Facebook again, you do not need to log in again because the cookie that's stored on your computer is being submitted to the Facebook server with every request that you make. Besides keeping you logged in, cookies can be used to store settings or your shopping cart. As you can see, cookies are very useful and they make our lives a lot easier. So what I've described is a first-party cookie. Because you have visited Facebook, a known first party to you, and Facebook puts a cookie on your computer. And since this cookie is bound to the Facebook domain, no one else other than Facebook.com can read its content. Therefore, when you visit another site, for example the automotive blog previously, the blog cannot see that you are on Facebook, neither can Facebook see that you are on this automotive blog. However, let's say the owner of the blog places a Facebook like button on its content. To show the like button, your browser needs to download code from the Facebook servers, and due to this communication with Facebook.com, it sends along the Facebook cookie from your previous login. Facebook will now know that you have visited a car blog and is likely a car enthusiast or someone in the market for a car. In this example, since you have visited the car blog, it is a first party. On the other hand, Facebook, which is only in the picture because of the like button, is a third party to this communication. So the same Facebook cookies that you have gotten from the car blog because of the Facebook like button is considered as a third party cookie. The third party cookie technique is not limited to Facebook, and the trick is simple. You just need to convince as many website owners to place your code on their websites. And the more a website owner have to rely on a third party function, the easier it is for a third party to get their cookies on your computer. An example would be how so many sites rely on the Facebook like button. Same thing applies for Google. Since a lot of websites relies on Google Ads and Google Analytics, Google is able to track a lot of people through third party cookie tracking. So now that we know what first and third party cookies are and that first party cookies are essential for an efficient internet, allowing us to store our shopping carts and login information, most of our concern will be about third-party cookies invading our privacy. So before we talk about the ways to block third-party cookies, we need to know that third-party cookies are two-edged swords. On one end, you lose your privacy and ads keep following you around. But on the other end, with no cookies to track your interests, marketers will no longer be able to tell what is most relevant to you. This is when marketers will start targeting people at random and the chances of you receiving totally irrelevant ads increase greatly. So now that we have that out of the way, how do you block third-party cookies? Number 1. Since cookies are potential threats to privacy, politicians in Europe came up with the GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation, which requires sites to offer users a way to opt out of cookies. This is something that we are very familiar with nowadays, like the example you see here. However, some sites rely heavily on advertising as their main source of revenue and will not allow you to view its content if you do not accept cookies. Number 2. Use browsers that blocks third-party cookies by default. And one such browser is Safari, which has started blocking third-party cookies since March 2020. And if you are using Chrome, it is an option under Settings, privacy and security, block third-party cookies. All in all, we need to know that the content we consume on the internet comes at a price. When the content is free, there will be ads. Although blocking third-party cookies help us prevent some of our browsing information from being leaked out, ads are here to stay. So let me know in the comments below what are your thoughts. Will you be blocking third-party cookies? Why or why not?